edition of today. Umesh Bhadra and I, Ananyo Bhattacharyya, would be the hosts of the 6th edition of Chat with TISSians, an initiative by the Aspirants Relations Committee of TISS HRM LR. In the pre-pandemic days, we used to connect with aspirants and travel to major cities and meet and greet them. Nonetheless, here we meet in the virtual platform. So talking about myself, I have done graduation in chemistry honors from St. Stephen's College, University of Delhi. Post that, I have a work experience of 13 months, out of which 5 months I worked as a market researcher, and then 8 months as a content writer. And all those who are worried about gap years, let me tell you, have a chill pill, because I had a gap year of nearly 1 year, and yet I made it to my dream program at TISS, which is the Human Resource Management and Labor Relations. Umesh, would you like to give us your introduction?
Sure. Hi, Ananyo, and a very good evening to all our aspirants. My name is Umesh Bhadra. I grew up in the city of Solapur in Maharashtra. I hold a BA Honours degree in Economics from SP College in Pune University. Soon after that, I cleared the entrance exams for TISS and joined it. On to you.
Perfect. So to give a basic outline of how this session is going to look like. So first, we are going to give a brief about TISS, what makes this amazing and different from other B schools, followed by a small discussion on how life at TISS looks like, which is going to be followed by the preparation strategy for TISSNET exam. And then later on, we are going to address all of the aspirant questions. So feel free to type in your query and we'll be more than welcome to address your queries. So let me talk about what is TISS. So TISS was established in the year 1936 as Sir Dorabji Tata Graduate School of Social Work. TISS has 4 campuses in 4 cities, namely Mumbai, Durgapur, Guwahati, and Hyderabad, and offers a gamut of 111 courses. One of the features of TISS is that it has a Sir Dorabji Tata Memorial Library, which houses best-in-class facilities and resources. And well, I think TISS is a very popular institute, and it is substantiated by the fact that it has been graded AAA with a score of 3.89 out of 4 by NAAC in the year 2016. Now, let me talk about the course, which is the HRM and LR. Now, this course has a rich legacy of more than 5 decades in teaching and research. It began in the year 1967 as personal management and industrial relations, but due to the evolving nature of the subject, it has been rechristened as human resource management and labor relations. Now, we know that business schools, they produce business leaders. What makes this HRMLR different is that it grooms business leaders with social sensitivity, which is the need of the hour. If one aspires to become an HR leader, it's very important to appreciate the diverse backgrounds that people come from, and this provides the perfect platform through its unique pedagogy. Now, what makes this one notch better than other B schools in India is because it has a research-based curriculum. It offers an opportunity to do fieldwork internship in 4 different organizations in 4 semesters. It offers 2 social work stints, and TISS is a social science institute, so one is given the freedom to explore other schools as well. Namely, there are many schools, say School of Social Work, School of Development Studies, School of Media and Cultural Studies. So students are given an opportunity to explore the nuances of these departments as well. Now, in the next slide, I'm going to talk about the USPs of TISS in more detail. Beginning with, there is this foundation courses. Now, TISS lays a priority on sensitizing students to various socioeconomic issues like racism, gender, caste, class, through foundation courses. These courses, they lay the seeds of developing a nuanced understanding of our country, which then helps one to later integrate these perspectives into the corporate career ahead. And also the esteemed faculty are great achievers in these fields, and it feels enriching to be a part of these classes. Moving on, we have these NGO internships, and the rural immersion program, they further mold students into socially sensitive leaders. And one of the things which makes this different is the presence of fieldwork internships. Now, this lays a lot of emphasis on practical learning, and through the means of fieldwork internships, students can apply whatever they have learned on classes in the human resource management subjects and then apply them to a diverse range of industries that students get an opportunity to intern at. And some of these organizations are extremely reputed. Now, not only we get to brag about these organizations in our CVs, but it also helps aspiring HR leaders to appreciate the diversity in HR roles. Say an HR role at a plant or a factory setting is completely different from what an HR does in a corporate setting. So these fieldwork internships, they allow a student to experience and appreciate this diversity. And on top of that, if you work well in your fieldwork internship, there is a high possibility that these organizations end up giving you a fieldwork placement offer, which is very, very different. And I think that is not present in any B school across India. So TISS gives you an opportunity to get a final placement offer, not only through summer internships, but also through fieldworks as well. Now, as discussed earlier, TISS has a research-based pedagogy. And in order to graduate from TISS, it's required that you have to fulfill the dissertation. Now, one has the luxury to not only restrict his or herself from choosing topics from human resource management, but they can explore other schools as well. And this is something which enables a student access to modern research methods which are in use these days. And finally, this has an international exchange. So this allows, say, students from foreign universities to come to TISS, and likewise, students from TISS can also spend a semester in reputed international schools. And there is a separate international exchange office at TISS which takes care of these matters. For more information, we would ask you to surf the TISS website to gain more information on the international exchange. Now, opportunities at TISS. Now, TISS being a premier B school, several corporates provide TISSians an opportunity to participate in their case study competitions. The thing to be kept in mind is that corporates, they do not allow all B schools to participate in these case study competitions, but TISS being a premier B school, you get access to Asian Paints Conundrum, Myntra Stylebase, HUL the Nutcracker, and there are several other competitions as well. These are some of the national winners in the past few months of the premier case study competitions that we have had, and we have many more. And we would love you to access our social media handles to know more about this. Now, some of our fieldwork recruiters, as I've already stated, they span across a diverse industries, say FMCs like HUL and ITC. Now there is a pharmaceutical companies like Dr. Reddy, Cipla. So one is able to understand the role of an HR from diverse industries. Now, coming to the thing which excites all of us, placements. Now, as we know, last year, it was not a good year with regards to placement. Several companies were not willing to recruit students from various B schools. But TISS being a premier B school, the recruiters were more than open to come to TISS. And it's even substantiated by the fact that TISS had a median CTC of 19.89 lakhs, with 29.32 being the greatest. TISS attracted a total of 36 recruiters last year, and the number of PPOs offered were 22. These were some of our esteemed recruiters last year, as you can see. I think this slide speaks for it, and you can have a glance at it. Moving on to the next slide, that is the summer placements for the batch of 21-23. So This year, the summer placements were record shattering. There was a 20% increase in the median stipend. More than 25% of the batch received a figure of more than 3 lakhs, and about 90% of the students had a stipend of 2 lakhs or more than that. So this is something which is really amazing. So this shows that COVID or pandemic didn't have much of an effect when it comes to summer and final placements. Again, you can have a look at the companies which came to TISS for summer placements for 21-23 batch. Next, we are going to talk about something which we TISSians are extremely proud of. My friend Umesh Bhadra would like to take over from him.
Thank you, Ananyo. As you guys can see on the screen, we have some behemoths among our vast alumni network. These names command respect in corporate and HR circles. I'm sure you can recognize a few of these names here, even without reading the descriptions. Just a couple of days back, Savita Shivsankar ma'am was appointed as the CHRO of Asian Paints. As Ananyo had pointed out regarding placements, organizations from various sectors recruit from TISS. Therefore, one can see that our alumni lead the HR operations of these eminent organizations, may it be manufacturing, healthcare, startups, FMCG, or conglomerates. You name it, and we have TISSians there. TISSians have seeped into the very veins of these organizations. And one can find TISSians at various levels of management. What you have displayed here is just the top level. So hence, let's just say you join TISS and you're working in the field work in the given organization, or in the future, you end up working for that particular organization. And you can always rest assured that you can have their support during your internships or when you work in the future. So you will never be alone. You'll always have the backing of a vast alumni network. Moving on. Now, life at TISS. Life at TISS is very vibrant. Each person is unique and brings their experiences on the table. You get to interact with people from all across the nation. You also get to interact with students from various programs when you're doing your elective courses. It truly feels like a celebration of culture. Coming on to the academics, the professors are very knowledgeable and are masters of their field. At the same time, do not be intimidated because they are extremely approachable and you can always clear your doubts or ask for extra material if you have time when you're in the campus, well, in the online setting at least. One more important thing is the support from our seniors. They are very prompt and astoundingly good. If you hit a wall in your academics or fieldwork projects, you can always rely on them to guide you through it. The HRM program has different committees as well. I myself belong to the editorial committee, which releases the yearbook and the journal and initiates event called as Paridrishya, Crucial Discourses, as well as Abhyudaya, which is the launch event for our journal. Ananyo, you are the member of which committee?
Yeah, so I am the member of the Aspirants Relations Committee. So this committee guides the huge aspirant base right from the preparation phase to the onboarding phase. It also works towards promoting the key differentiating features of the HRM and LR course at TISS, thereby nurturing visibility of TISS among the industry and academia.
Apart from these, we also have the forum, which initiates most of the cultural fests, that is the IR conclave, the HR conclave, the Manthan, that is the flagship event of our program. And you also have the alumni committee, which maintains the huge alumni base that we already discussed in the previous slides. You can join them to get a quintessential experience of a wonderful master's program. These committees also conduct various activities and events that will further enhance your experience at TISS. Next slide, please. Industry exposure. One of the strongest reasons to join this program is industry exposure. And this can happen in two different ways. First is through fieldworks that Ananyo had already mentioned before. The second is through interactions with business leaders. The college, as well as the various committees, they invite HR leaders and also leaders from other domains from various organizations to have an interaction with the students. One gets to know about the workings and intimate details of the HR functions at premier organizations. You gain the first-hand information and clear any doubts that you have from the very best in the field. Hence, this is something that we should really look forward to. Moving on. Well, the selection procedure hasn't changed much. The stage 1 remains the same. That is the TISSNET exam. And this year, it is going to be conducted on 26th February 2022. Now, please keep in mind that since last year, TISSNET has been conducted in February. Before that, TISSNET used to be conducted in the first week of January. So please take note of this date and make sure that you are free on this date. The stage 2 has not yet been updated yet. We are yet to receive the confirmation from the administration, but please look out at the official handles of the ARC that handles all the official media channels of TISS, so that you can remain updated about the process. And well, the final merit list that will be created after everything is done. What we do not yet know is that if the marks of TISSNET will be counted in the final merit list this year as well or not, because last year it was counted, but before that it wasn't. So we are not yet sure about that, but please keep updated on all the social media handles.